A few schools are closed today because of freezing temperatures. We'll have those schools scrolling at the bottom of your screen throughout our newscast this morning. But a handful of districts are closed because of COVID-19. Several schools have shifted their schedules this week. We have some updates for you this morning. St. Joseph and Knob Noster both announced they are extending their closures through the rest of the week. Warrensburg, Sedalia, and Oak Grove, R6, also decided to close for the rest of this week because student and staff absences and the cold weather. Meanwhile, Odessa schools are switching to virtual learning today and tomorrow. Some schools are back open after being closed a couple of days this week. Olathe and KCK Public Schools both reopening today. Guadalupe Center schools also reopening after being closed Tuesday and Wednesday as well. KCK schools are reopening after nearly 6,000 students and 600 staff members were out on Friday. While the district said they can't attribute all those absences to COVID, it was hard to keep the schools open. Here's a look at new COVID cases among students and staff at KCKPS. The top of the graph is the first full week of December of 21. The bottom is the first week of January when students came back to school. You can see how many more cases they had in that first week of the new year than the last few weeks of December. It really jumped up after the Christmas holidays. Coming up during our 6 o'clock hour, my co-anchor Lindsay Shively will be live at Sumner Academy where students are going back to class today. And we'll check in with her on how they're handling keeping students safe as possible, teachers as well, when they come back to school today. Meanwhile, our team coverage of schools continues this morning with the Olathe School District also returning. More than 250 substitute teachers will be filling in at Olathe with 50 unfilled positions still remaining. Teachers working around the clock to try and make up for staffing shortages, and administrators and support staff are having to fill in. So KSHB 41 News reporter Daniela Leone spoke with an Olathe Public School staff member about what her experience is like and if she feels safe to come back. Daniela, good morning. Obviously, it's all hands on deck in Olathe. What's it like right now inside these classrooms?
That's definitely right, Taylor. Again, last Friday, around 800 staff members were out. That's 20% of the school district staff. And it's definitely an unprecedented time for school districts all across, especially for support staff members who are having to fill in. Now, the Olathe Public School District has a learning services department that's made up of former educators that help guide and help out current teachers within that department. About 65 members are going back to their roots of that department and teaching students all across the district. Courtney Hollenbach is actually one of them. She told me last week she was at 4 different school buildings and had just minutes to prepare in between classes. And this morning, she'll be back teaching.
I think it was something that all of us had toyed with. We see our buildings, start to have more needs, and we're on a lot of building emails. So we see emails coming through with absences and things like that. I think a lot of my department is just ready to jump in. So I think getting the call, honestly, to know that we could be there to help was fulfilling for a lot of us, to know that, we're going to do what we can to make this work.
Now, the Kansas State Board of Education recently passed an emergency declaration that lifted some requirements for substitute teachers within the state of Kansas. The district told me they are currently reviewing that decision, but did say it gives them options to stay afloat and continue to battle these shortages. Taylor?
Danielle, what about these lost days they're experiencing? Are these considered snow days? How are districts making these up?
Yeah, they are considering them snow days for the time being, so they don't need to make up those snow days. Now, remote learning, a lot of parents were asking about that option. And even though the state of Kansas does allow up to 40 hours of remote learning per district, Olathe Public Schools says there were simply too many staff members out to do that.
Yeah, you can't really have remote learning if you don't have people to teach either way. Daniela live for us this morning. Daniela, thank you very much.